Today I got a Barbie Jeep, or like Power Wheels toy. It's from 2001. It like still had the manual in it. I remember riding this thing like when I was 4 years old. It was so awesome. I just remember it being like the best thing ever, like riding it across the yard. But recently it's just been sitting in our garage collecting dust, so I'm going to put an engine in it. Hopefully we can get some good speeds on this thing, but in this video I'm just going to be making the frame. I'm aiming for independent suspension with a square tubing for the frame. Unfortunately I don't have a welder, so I'm going to have to do this with all nuts and bolts. But I mean, I got a drill press. It's just going to take me a lot longer than it should. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you what this thing looks like and show you how I put the frame in this thing. Okay, bear with me here. I already put the frame together. This is after the actual video, so it's just sitting on there. It's nothing sitting right on it. But this is roughly what it looks like. It's actually really cool for what it is. It has a working radio in case you want to listen to some music while you're going like 2 miles an hour in the lawn, in the grass. But I mean, that's up to you. I thought it was pretty cool when I was like 4 years old. So anyways, the goal is to fit the engine in the hood of this thing with like being able to shut this back on there and not being able to tell that there's an engine in this thing. It's still going to look out of place because it's going to have this giant black seat sitting in the middle of it, but I mean, it's going to look really cool if I can shove that thing in the front of this thing. If I can shove that engine in the front of this thing and like you not being able to tell. And then the back of this thing I'm also going to try to keep intact, and I want to try to fit the gas tank, the fuel pump, and all that stuff in the back, because that would be pretty cool. I am going to have to cut this thing, but cut this body up, but I am going to have to cut this frame up. But I'm going to try to keep as much plastic as I can, make it look as original as possible, just to make it look like hilarious. Like if it looks like this when I'm done, other than the seats, if it looks like this when I'm done, and you can just like turn the key and it just is loud as anything and you start smoking it down the road, that would be hilarious. So that's the goal. I don't know how much of that I'm gonna get. I don't know how fast this thing's gonna go, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started on putting the frame in it. Also, these things' lights are like actually like kind of lights, so if this thing works out really well, if we can squeeze that engine in there right, then it would be dope if I could actually put lights in there. This one's like, that's what the backlights look like, so that'd be pretty awesome too. And again, no welder, so I'm gonna have to put everything together with nuts and bolts and that drill press. So kind of depressing, but I mean, it is what it is. So we'll get started, I guess. Like ripping it down the road in this thing, that'd be hilarious. That looks pretty dope. I didn't even start yet, it's like already falling apart. Just put that right over there. You don't need no windshield, you know, windshield. Get out of here. Okay, so this is what I'm starting off with. I got 1/4 square tubing. I got 18 feet of it. I got 6 feet of angle iron just to kind of put that together. I got 50 bolts, 50 nuts, and 2 nuts for those pillow blocks. So I also have this shaft, 1-inch shaft and 1-inch pillow blocks from my first go-kart actually, so that'll be cool to put in this thing. As more parts come in the mail, I'll go ahead and show you what I'm going to do with them. I got a ton more parts in the mail. Okay, so everything's off this thing. I got the tires right there, the axles, the steering, and the gearboxes. I thought it was one, but it had two, one for each wheel. So now that all the plastics are off this thing, I can get a better look at how everything's gonna sit, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. One-inch shaft is clean, and the pillow blocks are also clean. They're right over there. And I got all these parts, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I got. Okay, so I got a ton of parts, and again, this 1-inch shaft and these two pillow blocks I already had from an old go-kart. So I bought 4 1-inch pillow blocks, 4 3/4 pillow blocks, a 3/4 shaft, a bunch of sprockets for gearing, shocks, a chain, these lock collars for the shaft, and these ends for like the metal bar ends. And I got the seat for the cart. Okay, so first step is done, the frame is in, and you can't really tell, I did screw up, like I cut that hole too big, and on that side too. And then that's the only part that's actually on the outside. I don't even know if you can see that, it might be too dark, but the bar just sticks out a little bit. But the pillow blocks are lined correctly. I gotta put the shaft through the middle, and then that'll basically be done. And then I'm gonna work on this back after that and see how well that goes. And I should be getting tires and a front end soon, so when that comes in, I'll go ahead and work on that too. So I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. So I have the frame in the body of the Jeep, and I'm going to try to put the seat right there. I'm going to try to save as much as the back plastics as I can, but it's not going to be much. But so I have this shaft running through like the middle of it, right under your butt. And these two pillow blocks are going to hook onto either side. Like one's going to be right here, and the other's going to be right there. And they'll be separate suspension, so I got like the cheapest suspension on Amazon you can get. I think it's like 10 bucks for each of these. They're just springs, not air ride. And then I got a 3/4 shaft on the back, and the chain's gonna be running down the middle from this to that. And then I'm gonna have the engine in the front with the chain running to this 1 inch. So then I'm gonna put the tires on the 3/4, and that will be our back drive and suspension. So hopefully that works out pretty well, and then I'm gonna do the front end the next video. I got the engine and the front end in the next video. Okay, so I've cut the plastic on this side, and it looks like it's gonna go ahead and clear the seat. I do have to make another bracket for these two just to hold them the right distance apart. But the back tires are 3/4 shaft, so the shaft did fit on the back tires. But it doesn't clear right there, but it's not gonna be sitting like that anyways. It'll be sitting up more. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to the other side and just see how that works out. Okay, so now it's put together completely. I got these 2 bars running back to the 3 forced pillow blocks, and that just has a single shaft on it. And I'll put a sprocket like from there to right there, and right there to right there. So each wheel is independent suspension, and I'll see how well that works. And I also got the shocks to put on, but I'll do that later. And then I think the seat is gonna go on sometime soon too. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna get done for now. Back is like 98% done. I just got the shocks. It's built pretty well. It's like really sturdy. It's not coming apart. But next video, I'm gonna go ahead and put the shocks on, and I got an engine and the front end for this thing. The reason I saved that is just because the engine's sitting in the front end, and so like I'm just gonna have to build the front end around the engine. So I'll get that in the next video, and then I might be able to put the shell on, but I do need to cut out the back for the seat, so I don't know if I'll get to do that or not. But yeah, that's basically it.